Okay. I'm going to tie these two stories in. Remember this one here with Jonah. Jonah is the story of the dude that fell over the side of the ship and got swallowed by this whale, and he was in there for 3 days. So that's your 33. This story here is a ticket that cost $500 to buy, right? And the return was $25,000. But we know from the earlier videos that this is a biblical story from the book of Ezekiel. So you've got one story, Jonah, about a guy that's at sea and falls over and he disappears for 33 days. Right? We know what 33 is. And then now you've got these numbers that are associated directly with the book of Ezekiel. Now what's interesting about Ezekiel is Ezekiel talks about he saw the wheels of God or whatever, and he said it was a wheel within a wheel within a wheel. And he said when the wheels went, it went not. So people always equate this to UFOs. So now let's look at this story about this dude. This is going to tie into this story. This dude was at sea for 13 months, which is bullshit. Okay? His name is Jose Salvador, which the last name Salvador sounds to me like some point. Sounds to me like some point of reference. Okay? 13. You know what 13 is. Okay? On December 21st, there's your 3. 2012, there's your 6. Okay? He was accompanied by a teenager only known as Ezekiel. So now this story is getting tied right in with this story, which has to do with dealing and dividing of the lands. Hang on, let me just bring that back up. Well, let's just hang with this for a minute. Okay, anyhow, so I guess it's just going to have to be this here. So here we see that this has to do with the amount of land, the third temple supposedly being built. Here's Ezekiel 33:9. As an adamant harder than flint. Now remember, these dudes supposedly were locked in adamite, which is like the strongest shit known to man. It's like diamonds. I have made thy forehead fear. I have made thy forehead fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Now, I don't know if he's talking about humans or if he's talking about the dudes that have been imprisoned and are getting out. He said, but don't be afraid of them. Now, I got to go back and research this more to see if he's saying don't be afraid of them if they're scary looking and they're friendly, or don't be afraid of them because they're trying to scare the shit out of you and they look scary. I don't know which one it is. But all of this shit, this story, and look at this here. You know, give me a break. Okay? Give me a break. 6 and 3. You know, I mean, whatever. You get all that. It says the story has to be yet to be confirmed. Anyway, so we've got Ezekiel here in this story. We've got Jonah here, which is directly tied to the book of Ezekiel over here. We've got the wheel within the wheel within the wheel. Now, there was another story, and I'm going to show it to you, that came out last year. Let me just pull that up real quick. It was called the Elio. It's a 3-wheel car. Okay, so we see that the Elio car is a 3-wheeled car, so that's L-I-O. The 7 is this completion of the circle. The 8 and 4 is 12, that's 13, or 12, and that's 3, 1 plus 2, and so there's your 33, and incidentally it's by CC, right? And so we know that CC really is 3, 3. And we know that Weiss is a Jewish name, okay? So again, you're getting it right up the ass by you-know-who. Don't have to, you know, be too obvious about that, do we? This came out in 2008, this car. So I would suggest go look up the part in Ezekiel. Just look up Ezekiel's wheel. It's biblical. Okay? He said when the wheels went, it went not. Okay? Which is probably this car, because I don't think they sold one of these cocksuckers, but I don't think they ever made one. Because this all has to do with time. Okay? If you take three loops and you put them in all different directions, what you're going to do is you're going to get this symbol that we've all seen. This, and this, and this. Those are all loops that you're seeing from an end. If we were to do it this way, you'd see one at a perfectly round. You would see another one from an angle, and if I tilted it, it would look just like that. And then you would see another one coming straight down the middle, and if I opened it, it would look just like that. But if they're all on end, they look like this. You see? So go look up in the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel's wheel. Everybody attributes this to the UFO. I'm not so sure that's the case. I'll go and research this Ezekiel 3:9, which is interesting, because this name is very interesting. Ezekiel. It almost sounds like they're saying easy kill. Who knows? I mean, I've always laughed and said the book of Noah was some dude trying to wire up the ark, and he grabbed the wrong wire and he said, no. Ah! You see? We don't know. I'm just saying, just go look this up, because all three of these things all tied together.